All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 12 p.m. R9 Tech Bits mini series. My name is April Frost, and I will be your guide today as we learn and discover more about Google Forms. But first, let's get through our Bitmoji presentation, right? Very important. And let's just kind of go through what TechBits is all about. So welcome to TechBits. What are the mini-series outcomes? We want to become more and more familiar with Google Suites and other technology resources, identify ways to utilize these tools in your work and in your classroom, set up your tools, and make sure that we practice and play with them a little bit. So we'll get through those today. TechBits, oh man, TechBit norms. The norms of the meeting, everybody participate. You can always choose to pass though. Be an active listener, open and honest. Don't be afraid to take those risks. Find connections among each other. Respect, appreciate, and look forward to different ideas. This is how we learn. This is how we support each other as educators. All right. So the resources today, I picked 2 videos. They're okay. I couldn't really find any new videos. So how to make a Google form. This is like a complete beginner tutorial guide. All right, so these videos are on this PowerPoint presentation as well as on my notes. And then also Google Forms new features 2022, okay? So be sure to, I don't know what I just did, but it looks like it's trying to pull up something.
Easy Wheels started as my college project, and we now sell our wheel covers all around the world.
All right, sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened. And then, of course, practice and play together. And then my contact information with my email is on there, and also the R9 Tech Bits page if you need additional information. So I'm always here to support. You let me know what you need. And it doesn't have to be about technology. That's okay. And how do you, Pineda? How do you say your last name, Mr. Pineda?
Yeah, Pineda, yeah, just like it
Pineda.
looks. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing that right. But thank you. I keep calling you Mr. Kim, but Kim's your first name. All right, love the green theme. Thank you, Tessa. I appreciate it. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So forms, notes, just real quickly before I go over. So on our website and on our actual schedule, there's going to be notes. And this is a step-by-step, okay? And it's also going to have some additional, like how to edit your form, how to create a quiz, choose and save from different responses. So we're going to be chipping away at this. I'm not going to cover this all in 30 minutes. It's really too much. But I know Lisa has used forms a lot. I know Amanda has used forms a lot. April, the majority of you guys know how to use forms. So let's take a quick poll of the audience. And you can chat it or shout it out, whatever. Kind of 1, I've never used it before, and I need to even know how to get it going. And a 5, I'm an expert. So try to let me know where you guys stand on that.
I'm going to go with 4.
Ooh, okay. So it looks like today 3 or 4. Hey, Susan. Good to see you again. All right, 3 or 4. So everybody, for the most part, has worked with forms previously, knows how to start one and build one, correct? Okay, great. So we're just going to jump in and go straight to the 2022 new features. So let's see if I can show you something new. So going to forms, the quickest and easy way that I know how to do that, you guys, is to go down to my drive. And again, there's 10 million ways to start a form. You can even type google.forms in the URL and it'll pull up a form. But in this case, I used to like to use this little plus button here and go to Google Forms, right? And I just simply start one. Now, what's the most important thing, y'all, that we need to do right at the beginning? And I say this in anything and everything that we work with. Google Docs, Google anything that we start up, Google Sheets. Well, what's the number one rule? No,
I
nobody.
agree with titling it. Yeah.
Ooh, why is that important? I mean, it's important to me because it gets lost in Never Land, right? And then you're like, all of a sudden you have these untitled forms and you don't even know which is which. So I always want to make sure that we retitle this. So let's organize, shall we? And I'm going to say just two, oh, what, two, geez, 3, 2, 23, playtime. All right. Gosh, I can't believe how fast this year has gone, you guys. Okay. And at this point, it's nice. You can categorize it, move to another folder. You can star it. If you're into stars, spangled stars and stripes, you can totally do that. The layout of it has not changed dramatically. What has changed, or what they've added in for new features, and this is what I've learned, is for the most part, so we renamed it up here, it automatically pulled it here, but you can totally change that, okay? So say I didn't want the date in there, I can walk that back out. But the new features of 2022, they basically just added bold, italics, underline, a way to link, okay? And a way to remove the formatting. So it's a small little clip of what we do in Google Docs or Word that gives us a little bit more control over how our forms are displayed and represented, the real estate is, okay? So you want to highlight this? Sorry, first things first, highlight this. Same concept applies, underline. If I have a website or registration, Amanda, April, Tessa, Allison, Lisa, I can now link my registration site or a Google site that maybe my classroom is using, okay? So just know that you have that ability, and I can always link to even on my title, okay? The other thing, same thing, when you do form description, that's your description, or those are your instructions that you're providing, like what's the purpose of this form to your students or your coworkers or your audience. And the form description, same thing. Please pay attention to our new features. I don't know. Okay, I'm just making up stuff. So anyways, same thing applies. I can be mean and say bold my pay attention and underline. So if there's, which is nice, because when I was giving instructions or having this long thing, and there were certain dates or certain times that I needed them to pay, my audience to pay attention to, I wanted that feature in there, and it was never available. And if you look over here, same thing applies, italics, underline, link, 1, 2, 3. I can now bullet or 1, 2, 3 categorize, and then again, removing the font. So those are some cool features. The same thing will apply here in your question area. You have the same new tools. Now, the other thing that I picked up, and I don't know which part I want to show you first, but let's go ahead and just make up some questions. What would be, I'll just gonna say name. So on my form, I need a first name, right? And I want to italicize that or something and bold it. Definitely need to make sure that you highlight before. And then let's go ahead and duplicate that question, and then we're going to do a last name. All right. Now on this one, so see on the 3 dots, when I'm in my question areas, the 3 dots here, the new feature that's available to you here, which is nice, is description. So I'm not only, I don't have to give all my information on the question anymore. Now I have it spaced apart, kind of like the title information. So that's nice. So if I have specific instructions for my students or coworkers, I can add it in there. And again, you have the nice new toolbar to utilize. Finally, 2022 features. The other area that I found a change was customized theme. What's different about this is I have more controls of how my form looks and feels for my audience. So if it's, I can pick all sorts of different fonts. You remember how we only had just like a short little list and I never could get the right font look in your forms? Tessa's shaking her head. She knows what I mean. Now I have more options of how I would like my form and questions to be reflected. So I can even, you know, I got to get the Zoom things out of the way. So I can even do, let's see, I think they had some fun, like they even have Cosmic Sand or whatever we use. Yeah, that's one. Comic Sand that we use a lot of times when that's been around for a while. The other nice thing about this is I also have a choice now. I can go up on my questions, I can go up to 18. So if I have a student that possibly has a disability, has trouble reading, or maybe my audience does, I can blow this up now and I have more control over that. Going up to the header, see these are all in text styles. You have your header, your question, and your text, right? So in the header, I now have an option to go 24 for the font. So that's pretty large, you know, and there's a little bit more control about how I want my form to flow and feel or look, really. So most of these were kind of aesthetics, but to me, they were needed like a long time ago, right? So I don't know how excited I am about it, but I'm glad that I know that they're there and they're available for me. Because, you know, to me, they're important. And again, you can always choose a header and add it in and tweak it and customize it. But those were generally the what did I do, like 3 new areas that they've added in. And if anybody can tell me any other ones that I have not mentioned, I know we're going to be covering this as we move forward. So we're going to be chopping these lessons up for Google Forms, I think maybe into 3 more times. So we have some time to go over it. Or a teacher's lesson stellar. Oh, yeah, exactly. I always, Mr. Pinata, I always, I'm like this nowadays. I can't even see anything. It's people say, "What's wrong?" And I blunt. You know, I need probably reading glasses. So that is a good point. Yes.
Could you go ahead and show us what the student view would look like with your bold and underline so we can see how big a difference it is?
Yeah. So the way to do that is simply go to preview. And, you know, yeah. Oh, you know what I want to do? Oh, gosh, control's driving me nuts. You know what I want to do? I'm going to go back over here. And I want to, what was I thinking? I was thinking of, I want to add, so I didn't add a description. So let's just add some, so we can kind of see the difference. All right. And then preview. Let's see if it reflected. No. I don't know about you guys, but do you feel like the internet or your computers have been lagging a lot lately? Or is it just me? Maybe it's just my internet, but I just feel like it's been slow. So now I have a description area where I can add that. Now keep in mind, what I like about this the most, Lisa, are the abilities to link. To me, that is just, that's awesome. You know, just link, because often you're linking to your websites, you're linking to your Google Docs and forms that you need your students to utilize, your resources, you know, the additional PDFs or documents that you have. You're going to be able to do that in your form if you need to now, a lot more quickly and
Now-
conveniently.
Now, previously, I could insert hyperlinks to do that.
Yes.
But my
that-
question is, with linking, can you still lock the quiz? So the kids can't go to Google and find the answer, but they can go to the website that you want them to go to. Do you know?
That's a really good question. So why don't we play with that a little bit, Lisa? So where do we want to go, people?
And your screen is real small for the form. I see you, I don't know about other people, but
Oh,
your-
is it? I'm so sorry. This is real small. Can people say that? Yeah, I feel like it's a normal size. I haven't shrunk it or anything. So let me see if I can just do a command plus. No.
that fixed it.
Did that fix it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's go somewhere. Let's find something. What do we want to learn about, you guys? I guess Google Forms.
Oh, well, I'm really interested in dealing with the data afterwards and, breaking it down by class periods or different classes. That's where I've gotten not bogged down, but bombarded with a bunch of data that I should have been able to separate, but didn't understand.
So it's more on the spreadsheet side that you're referring to, and kind of how to reorganize that and categorize. We can go
Yes.
back and do that. We can go back. Well, we had trouble with pivot tables, right, Lisa? Or I did. Lisa didn't. I did. But we got through it the next session, so that's good. Yeah. So going back to, we won't be covering that today, Mr. Panada. So don't count on it for me today. We're just trying to do short, but we're going to move in that direction. Okay. And that will help me. That information helps me plan for my next lessons and what to add in there. So I appreciate that. Oh, I can't hear you.
Oh, God. Now, just go with my first name. That's fine.
Oh, Kim,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
I'm butchering your last name. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, not so much that. It's just, Kim. It's fine, for
Okay. Thank
peers
you,
and colleagues
Kim.
and all that. Yeah.
Thank you. It's a lot easier. Kim is a lot easier for me too. All right. So here we go. So I just want to do, let's go here. We're going to a website. This is a Google Support website, right? I'm going to copy and paste the URL, go back to my form. Google Form Assistance, step by step. Step, right? And so on this question, what would make sense to you, Lisa, like for instructions for your students, I guess if we wanted to. Link. Woo. Link, enter, go. Okay, so now I have a hyperlink in there. And then settings. Make it a quiz, right? Lisa, and help me with this because you're probably better at this than I am and all of you guys. So I'm gonna,
Make a quiz. Yeah. there you
okay,
go.
what are the other areas that I need to,
Lock mode. Yes, lock mode. There you go.
I want to lock mode, okay? And now we want to go to preview, right?
Correct.
To see how you cannot access this quiz.
Oh, okay.
That didn't,
Right.
that
That may have
let's
to be
get
from a
out.
teacher's side at a school district or something.
Learn more, respondents must make, so if I lock the quiz, it completely locks it?
You would be giving it to the kids. And so they have managed Chromebooks. And so
Yeah.
teachers might have to do that within their own schools.
So yeah, I mean, once it's locked, but I don't know if I'm answering your question or not. Did that answer
With-
your question or?
So with your setup, you can't access the quiz now, it looks like.
Right, the way I have it set up right now, but you were saying, can the student, what were,
My question, well, I know that when you put it on locked mode, the
Mhm.
students can't Google the answers on the Google form if you're using it as a quiz.
yes,
And so it was
Yeah,
hard
the
for
lock
me.
mode will keep them. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
go ahead.
It's exactly that. The lock mode, once they open it on their Chromebook, the lock mode will keep them in the quiz and it will not allow them to open any other tabs. They have to stay within the quiz.
So
then
the,
Link, yeah.
so even if we put these hyperlinks in there, and I have this lock mode on, I mean, to me, locked, so I don't have the right kind of locked mode is what I'm hearing from you guys. Is that right? I don't know. Amanda keeps turning
Well-
off her camera on and on. Go ahead.
Well, because my internet is unstable. Sorry.
That's okay.
So
I think like when we were doing remote teaching, I could have
Right.
the kids get hyperlinks and that would help them to watch videos and such while they're doing the lesson remotely using a Google form so I could access their data to grade them. But maybe the link is just not useful when you're trying to do a quiz.
Playtime forms, you can't access this quiz, lock mode is on. Only respondents using managed Chromebooks can open this quiz. Okay. Sorry about that. My mom's calling me. Yeah, and I'm not as familiar in the classroom with the Chromebooks and how that flows together. So I'm learning a lot right now. I've never really had to do that or been in that setting. So that helps me a lot. So I'm not sure how that would work. But why have the ability to create links for your peeps and then not have them access it in a locked mode? So I'm not sure how that would work.
and I'm honestly not sure if they can access that since it's a direct link from the quiz, they might be able to. I don't know. I've not done that since that feature was added.
Right. So, Tessa, when you're out in the school district, I don't know if you can talk to your teachers or pals, friends, buddies that are using forms with Chromebooks and their kids, but to see if they can access those links, that would be great information to give us back. If you can maybe talk to somebody about that, and the next time report back. Sit down. Sit down.
I will do my best to see what I can find out.
Okay. All right. Well, that is pretty much what I had planned for today. Any questions about the new features that we've learned about? Did y'all all know about them or did we learn something new?
I learned stuff that was new,
Mm.
but I hadn't used one since
Okay.
last spring. So yeah, now I've got to find a reason to get a form going. So,
I know, right? Well, that's okay. Just play around with it. But hi, this is Lincoln, everybody. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording if we have no more questions. Yeah, it was kind of an easy, simple day. We started out with the new features, but yeah, those are the three new features that I found. If you find any new ones or other ones, please let me know. I would love to revisit it. And then moving forward, we're just going to learn more about how we can utilize this tool in our everyday lives. And so, like Kim, the question that you asked, we're going to get to that stuff as we move forward. So hang in there with us. All right. So